My video for October 11th, 2018 is video number 2872, and the title is a question. Will we see the end of the deep state? It has been said many times by many people and in many ways. The problem in this world is the aristocracy. It is the seat of deception from time immemorial. How and why can only be conjecture, since no one can actually testify based on first-hand experience and observation. The best anyone can do is assess the situation based on what we see in recent and current history. Many, like me, try to do that. It should be obvious to thinking and observant people that something is wrong when our self-proclaimed leaders and monarchs are revealed to be serious pedophiles. That is despicable to anyone with a loving heart. Unfortunately, humanity has been infested for a long time by those who seem heartless. I have often pointed out Hillary as a prime example, but she is far from being the only one. Donald Trump promised to drain the swamp, which is synonymous with deep state. Of course, the swamp creatures will resist with all they can muster, and they still exercise political and monetary clout. Some see signs of cracking, which I hope is becoming a reality. As listeners to my channel know, I want to live to see the ushering in of the kingdom of heaven on earth. That requires the takedown of the deep state. They cannot mutually coexist since their objectives are diametrically opposed. This is an issue that does not go away. No amount of positive thinking and no amount of ignoring the problem is going to fix the problem. The problem is, as I see it, that prime creator, whatever name you want to apply to that, prime creator at the very beginning or somewhere thereafter, allowed a part of creation to rebel against truth, against love, against decency, and against values that, to me, are inherent within the divine creator. And they're also inherent within each of us, because everything that is made came from that origination point. Everything that exists because it had its beginning somewhere. Now, of course, as time stretches out, we lose contact with the beginning. And so we forget where we came from. Some of us, they label us prophets, or some label us prophets or seers, see a world where everything comes back together, that there's a big circle. And we come back to the point where things got chaotic, where things seem to break away from love and from truth and from cohesiveness into warring camps, actually. The formation of ideologies that were absolutely, as I said in the blurb, diametrically opposed to one another. There can be no peace when you have that situation of diametric opposition. In order for there to be peace, there has to be mutual ground. And you can only build a peaceful foundation on mutual ground, not contested territory. Contested territory is the problem. That's all wars come from that. And the whole money game came from that. It was a way to control individuals, humans, without humans realizing they were being controlled. Well, when they were enslaved and they had chains wrapped around them, and there were people with whips forcing them into servitude to do what they wanted, it was obvious that there was slavery, and of course, something inside of the slaves would automatically resist that. So someone came up with the devious plan of, well, we're going to free all the slaves. We're going to take the chains off. We're going to take the shackles off. All of the outward signs of slavery are going to be removed, and we're going to pay you for doing the same thing you were doing when you were slaves, but now we're going to pay you for it, so you're no longer slaves. And of course, people bought that story. We're no longer slaves. But they continued to work for those that had a dark agenda. The dark agenda has always been control. It has always operated through lies. It has always operated by taking the life force out of the most innocent among us. Human sacrifice has been going on for a very long time. Pedophilia is not something new. It's something that probably goes back to the origins of the fall of creation, not just the fall of man, the fall of creation, when God allowed an element of creation to rebel against truth, to rebel against love, to rebel against common sense. Common sense says we're not going to be able to build a house if everybody is trying to do it in a different way and based on different principles. We can't lay many foundations. We can only lay a single foundation upon which an edifice can be constructed that will survive the onslaught. Well, there shouldn't even be an onslaught. I said that, but there shouldn't even be an onslaught. Why? Why would you want opposition? What purpose does it serve? What logical, reasonable, loving purpose can it possibly serve to allow opposition? We need to learn to cooperate. I keep saying that. It's foundational to establishing a world that actually works for everyone's good. Not some, but everyone. Well, there are people that don't want it to work for everyone's good. They want to be in control. Those are the people or beings, whatever, that have to be not only exposed, but given an opportunity to repent. And if they don't repent, they need to be erased. Can God create something and then erase what he has created? And I say he, I don't think that God is a he or a she. And I don't think God is an it. God is beyond all of the adjectives that would define the Creator. The Creator doesn't have a definition. The definition, the best one probably is just I am. I am. That's the definition. I exist. Will the existent God take responsibility for creation? I keep asking that, and I keep asking you, ladies and gentlemen, to take responsibility for your own life and to look at life with objective eyes, not subjective eyes that has an agenda to be right. That's self-righteousness. That is the biggest sin of all. That's the worst sin because it blinds you and those that are self-righteous. It blinds us to being able to properly ascertain our situation and to realize the deep-seated, inbred truth that love is the only answer. Short of love, there can be no salvation. There can be no solution to individual problems or the problems of the collective humanity and life itself. Consider the things that I'm saying, and thank you again for listening. Namaste.